You really think that people who, I mean, most people, I think, are pretty decided on who they're going to vote for.
Not really.
If you're a Trump supporter, you're going to vote Trump.
Yes,
you don't
of course.
care what happens. And if you're a Biden supporter, if you're a Democrat, you think any Democrats are going to watch the debate and say, "Oh, Trump, that's a good point. I'm going to vote for you."
I don't disagree. I don't disagree with you.
So what's the point? It's just a show.
I don't disagree with you, which is double negative. Maybe I agree with you on that. But I think this year more than ever, the middle of the undecided people or people on the fence, even people that were pro-Trump before and now they're kind of like, I don't know if I want 4 more years of the same. And people that were maybe more democratic, thinking, I don't know if I want Biden because he's proven whatever issues he has, and after all, Trump, they may say, okay, it didn't do too bad until COVID happened or whatever. There's many more people now that are undecided or being swayed in every direction. And especially now that people that are so edgy these days for everything that happens in the news, whether it's civil unrest or obviously the COVID or any other thing that's happening now, it's making people, I mean, you wake up every morning, meaning me too, like, oh, it's going to be a great day. Oh, no, fuck, this happened, whatever. So we're much more,
That's if you read the news. I don't consume news anymore.
No,
so
I know.
My days are great.
Me neither. But it's just like, you don't have to consume news this day to see that things that upset you and things that make you feel like, okay, well, hopefully we're seeing light at the end of the tunnel, So I think this year more than ever, people will tune in just to find some clarity when you finally... you're not reading headlines that may be subjective or extracted from another, major event or something. Like many times you actually read articles in reputable news sources. I mean, like any news organization.
But you think that's not going to happen with the debates?
Yeah, well, debates will happen. The problem that I have with debates is that they give the candidates so little time.
Right, of course.
That they cannot explain their whole thing.
Debates are just like, who can get in their quips? Who can get in the good one-liners? And that's... is that a good way to decide who should be the leader of the free world?
We've seen how the polls, which is another whole topic by itself, but the polls do show that the point separation between the candidates change after the debate. So obviously,
but I'm saying the debate format is terrible.
Well, the format, yeah.
It's like debates are really. I mean, it's a little different when it's 2 people, but like when it was like the Democratic debates,
no, that's different.
And they have 10 people up there.
Yeah.
Everybody's just trying to get their one-liner in,
right?
So that they sound good and they have their sound bite.
Those are silly. I mean, even when they had the debate number 1 and 2.
But the problem is like, okay. Because they make them talk, right? If it's like an hour, 2-hour debate or whatever, they have so many topics to discuss, right?
No,
it's like,
they usually narrow it down. Sometimes they say foreign policy. Sometimes they say...
Right, but okay, that's so fucking broad. Tonight is domestic policy. Do you know how much shit there is in domestic? That's everything.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll go and they'll spend 5 minutes on healthcare. They can
spend the whole debate talking about
They'll spend 5 minutes on healthcare. It's like healthcare is one of the most complex, nuance. You could have a 3-hour debate just on healthcare policy. Forget everything else. So the idea that we're going to spend 5 minutes on healthcare and move on is fucking crazy.
No, well, okay, but let's stick to the actual debate. It'll be what we know so far, and we're recording this on a Thursday, September 24th. And the debate is actually on the 29th, so it's like 5 days away. I think it's Tuesday.
With what I said, now I think who has more to lose is probably Biden, because Trump's base is pretty strong. I don't think Trump's base is going to be swayed by anything that happens in the debate. I think the people in the middle who are on the edge, if Biden is kind of has some senile lapses or doesn't seem very sharp, I think he has more to lose than Trump, if that makes sense. As far as if it doesn't go well for him.
I think
but
Biden,
I don't know.
I think Biden has improved. I don't know, whatever he's taken, but he has...
They'll both be on Adderall. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I know.
They'll both be backstage popping pills.
But Biden has been sharper lately and not so many goof up answers or forgetting things or whatever. But I think, but Trump can also put his foot in his mouth all the time and act not presidential, which is what people want to know. I mean, I actually think some of the things that Trump does and says are fine. It's just know how he does it or how he says it.
But my point is, I think it's not of whether you like him or not. It's just I think Trump's base. I don't think Trump supporters are gonna flip based on
No,
the
they're
debate.
not. They're not. We already agreed that the hardcore Trump supporters are hardcore Trump supporters, and the hardcore Biden supporters or Democratic people are basically not going to change. But there's a lot of people that just vote for the best person for the job. And they just vote for something that is going to make their family be better in the next 4 years. That's what they do. And even we know that as much as people, that's why I don't believe in the polls, and that's a whole different topic, because I actually have the sneaky suspicion, and this is just my opinion, and I realized this in the last probably 3-4 days since the weekend, that this could be a repeat of what happened 4 years ago, where everything was like, oh, Hillary Clinton is going to win, it's going to be close, but it's going to win, and this and that, and then surprise, surprise, basically Trump won. She won the.
You think that's
she won
the same thing happening now?
Huh?
You think the same thing's happening now?
I
Because
think.
I mean, remember in 2016, it was like the reason it was like a shock was because everybody said, "Oh yeah, I mean Hillary's definitely gonna win." Like it was like a shoo-in type thing, and it was.
Well, right now,
I don't think it's a shoo-in for either candidate. I think it's very close.
Right now, Biden has been ahead for, according to the polls, for months. And he's basically about depending on where you look, he's about 7-8 points ahead of Trump.
Okay.
So that's prior to the
I know.
debates.
Okay, so I agree with you. I think I don't really care what the polls say either because
Right. Because nobody says the truth.
I think I mean I don't. Trump has a strong base, and that's the problem. People live in their bubbles, right? So if you live in like L.A. or something, you think, oh, there's no way Trump would win. But if you live in like wherever in the Midwest or in the South or something, it's the opposite. It's like you would think, oh, there's no way Biden would win. Like everybody I know supports Trump, or everybody I know supports Biden. Like I think people live in their bubbles.
But the thing is that by the time, even if I were like a hardcore Democrat or something, and then Biden is telling me, okay, well, I'm gonna go back to an upper class whatever situation. And Biden says, okay, well, I'm going to vote back all these taxes on the this over higher tax bracket to 39.6 again, and I'm going to tax capital gains at the same as the income tax rate and blah, blah, and all the things that he may decide to do that are going to affect my wallet, okay? When you are by yourself, I can say to my friends, yeah, because fuck Trump, this, that, whatever, all that stuff.
Oh, yeah,
all that
I
stuff
know.
is very nice.
It's like the closet Trump supporters, as
right.
they say.
But when I'm at the
No, I
booth
know what you're
and
saying.
I'm by myself and nobody else is watching, I'm saying, you know what, I'm okay with Trump, because at the end of the day, I'm gonna have more money in my pocket, or my taxes.
I don't disagree.
all that
No,
stuff.
I definitely think
that's
there's
what
people
happens.
like that.
And a lot of that stuff happened 4 years ago, when Hillary was like, getting all the popular vote and all that stuff. But when you get to the electoral vote, which is a whole different animal, then guess what? Trump actually won easily. So I'm kind of suspicious that all these polls and everything that have Biden up by 7 points or 8 points, pre-debates, I don't know what's going to happen, if they're going to go change people's opinions. But I have the suspicion that people at the end of the day, Trump's main point is the market, not even the economy, the market. And he's going to say, okay, well, look at our market compared to any other country market. Like European market is down. The US, yeah, it's having hiccups and stuff, but for the most part, it's better. I mean, just about a month ago or 2 weeks ago, S&P was record high, like pre-COVID numbers, all-time highs, basically. So we're basically, and that's also for another reason, as we know, with the Fed basically buying everything. But I think people at the end of the day are going to say, okay, my 401k is not really that bad. It's doing well. And I talk to people doing that stuff. They said, my stock is not doing that bad. Yeah, I lost my job, but I had a pretty good, unemployment benefit. And then hopefully things will go back to normal like this. And I think at the end of the day, people are saying, and honestly, I don't know if Biden will be able to do anything differently, because he doesn't have a vaccine either. So, I mean, the only thing that's going to solve everything could be potentially a vaccine that people trust. And whether it's Biden or Trump says that it's going to be one in the next few months before the end of the year, then a more serious one maybe happening in the spring or something. But Biden is not going to have a better vaccine than Trump. That's the only thing that will solve this COVID crisis and things going back to normal. So everything else, people say, you know what? Yeah, Trump is doing his thing and it's like a reality TV. Everybody hates him. But I'm kind of thinking that may happen this time again.